Say hello to Freddie, back from the emergency hospital where he spent the day yesterday. He's feeling much better, back to his old impy self. And that pile of clothes above him are my Banana Republic, Old Navy, and Under Armour online score. I did a little back to school, back to work, fleece-lined things for my walk and things like that. So I'm very, very excited. But I'm home from grocery shopping, and I secured the little local free newspaper that has the organic food things, the little tips about it. And I made my second cup of coffee, and it just didn't feel right not talking to you while I'm having it. How about that? So it's Saturday, and even though this will air at a different time, I just wanted to say hi and talk a little bit about, what's going on. And it is scarf weather, although it's warming up nicely. But, oh, God, do I love September on Cape Cod. Although there's a chance this could be airing in October. Not sure where it's going to go on the playlist of the unaired ones yet. So I got this little paper, and the health food industry is planning on, or is expecting it to be a $35 billion industry this year. Remember when you'd find those couple of obscure organic items, at least on Cape Cod, that's how it was. And even though they had lots of earthy, crunchy teas and some books with odd ways of eating, like macrobiotic and things like that, and they had the dry goods bins, like with rolled oats and some nuts and dried fruits and things like that. The organic stores weren't what they are today. It's fabulous today. There's so much competition. I just love it. So, I just bought an Amy's gluten-free frozen dinner to have when we have one of those exciting non-cook nights. I'm all up for that. All right. So, the article is health foods that are really junk foods. And that's what I was just noting in the two biggest grocery stores here on the Cape, Star Market or Shaw's Market, and Stop and Shop. And how they now have their own lines, Open Nature and then Nature's Promise, and how they have huge sales. There's quite a few items, maybe a couple dozen. But it's still the refined, processed food. It just happens to be organic. And so they're going to be fooling some people and making part of that 35 billion off of people that think, well, this is great. Now, I've got a couple of gluten-free crackers that I bought. And there are times that I want a gluten-free cracker with cottage cheese. I just do. So when it comes up, these are bean crackers. I like them. I'll have like 2 of them with my 2 ounces of the full-fat cottage cheese, and I'm in heaven. It's just what I wanted. And for example, today I am having organic, popped on top of the stove with no oil, popcorn. You have to babysit it the entire time because it doesn't have any oil. I'm going to have it with 1 tablespoon of pasture-raised cow's butter. That's what I'm having. And I am answering what I want to eat, and it makes me feel good because it's not going to build up. Now, today is Saturday, where I have a pretty big dinner. We have the steak, the baked potato. I have the organic sour cream, the grass-fed butter, the grass-fed beef. I have a portion of a Hail Mary tart made with coconut oil. So the popcorn with a slab of watermelon will be my lunch after I finish taping this and enjoying my coffee with you. tomorrow I am bringing my Coffee Mate Bliss and my Califia almond creamer to work. And I will introduce these two products that just 1 or 2 short months ago I was buying as better bad choices to my beloved Italian Sweet Cream Coffee Mate. And to me it was an upgrade because there were, it wasn't filled with all the chemicals. But lo and behold, this carinogen or something like that that's in the almond creamer, all of a sudden I found out it's in there. Somebody says it's a dubious ingredient. I think that's what I'm calling these things, dubious ingredients. And all of a sudden I developed an aversion. And then with the Coffee Mate Bliss, which is supposed to be just nothing but heavy cream and sugar, well, I don't want the added sugar. I'm putting a 1/2 tablespoon of xyla in my coffee now with my 1/2 tablespoon of coconut oil and my 1/2 tablespoon of heavy pasture-raised cow whipping cream. And so that's enough. I don't need table sugar added to my creamer. Plus, it says natural flavorings. And for those of you that know Coffee Mate or its parent company, it's a baby food company. Why can't I think of it? Anyway, they were known to not have, they were known to have dubious ingredients in their formula and baby food that they sent over to the starving people in Africa. No, this isn't a joke. And so natural flavorings could be just about anything. And I don't like that. I don't like that. So an aversion to that. So, but for the women where I work, it will be an upgrade because they are totally, totally, totally addicted to half and half and Coffee Mate. So I will introduce them to them as if it was like my idea. And between you and me, wink, wink, you know it's because it was an upgrade for me that I've upgraded since. And that's what I love about not only my program, but this channel, is that we can upgrade at any time. And no apologies, because we are a work in progress. And I honor that so much in all of you as well. All right, so these are the unhealthy foods that are touted as health foods that are really junk foods. The first one is processed low-fat and fat-free foods. The war on saturated fat is the biggest mistake in the history of nutrition. It was based on weak evidence, and when it started, processed food manufacturers jumped on the bandwagon and started removing the fat from foods. But there's a huge problem, it says. Food tastes horrible when the fat has been removed. So they add a whole bunch of sugar to compensate. Saturated fat is harmless, but added sugar is incredibly harmful. It turns to fat, as we know, when consumed in excess. The words low fat or fat free on packaging usually mean that there is a highly processed product that is loaded with sugar. That's just the first item. Maybe this will be 2 videos. And so I know that those of you that go to Sarah's school, you know that about the low fat and the fat free. It may say all natural ingredients, or it may list the ingredients and none of them have that dubious ingredient sniff about them. But the chemicals used in processing the fat or all the fat out of the dairy item, or adding wood pulp to shredded cheese, doesn't get mentioned. So buyer beware, just saying. That's why I'm sticking to my raw pasteurized cheese, which for the most part I get at Whole Foods, because the other stores it's a rabbit hole to go down and see, and you have to like check out each thing. And no matter how much the cheese, whether it's a gazillion dollars a pound, if it's pasteurized and it's got stuff in it, it's not going to have the same probiotics and bang for your buck as the raw unpasteurized, which is so healthy for you with the full fat. Thank you very much. All right, most commercial salad dressings. Vegetables are incredibly healthy, yes. The problem is that they often don't taste very good on their own. And that's why people use dressings to add flavors. Although vegetables are good for you, eating them with a dressing high in harmful ingredients will totally negate any health benefit you're getting. Well, we know that. And I went from, well, I was having my Bolthouse, and then I started adding a 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil. And then I saw that it had that carinogen thing in it too. developed an aversion to salads. What's going on with me? And today when I was shopping, I had the hankering, a little hankering, for some full-fat crumbled blue cheese, romaine lettuce, and olive oil salad. So I can see that it's coming back. And a couple of you said, don't worry, Sarah, your salad will come back. And so I am seeing that now. And I'm delighted because I love that blue cheese, olive oil, romaine salad. So look for it to show back up. Not as much as the other one was, though, not that huge. Number 3, fruit juices. Well, I know that most of you already know that if you're going to have a fruit juice, you might as well just hand somebody a Coca-Cola. For the most part, they have teaspoons and teaspoons of table sugar in them. All the fiber's been taken out. They're heavily processed. They're not good for you. I see mothers putting apple juice in bottles, and babies have bottle rot. And if you've ever seen a baby with bottle rot, it's very, very sad. Because they're learning that. I'm not teaching them that, but they're learning that someplace from. We have the head of pediatrics come to our shelter to talk to them about things like this. You don't put a baby down with anything in the bottle but water. And so fruit juice turns to sugar that turns to fat. So babies shouldn't have fruit juice, nor should toddlers. It's just zoom right to their pancreas, and there's nothing sadder than a little overweight person. It's hard to look at and watch and understand. And of course, I understand, because I was that little piggly wiggly too, just searching out the next white flour, white sugar, white lard goodie. And a shelter has plenty of those things because of donations. Number 4, heart-healthy whole wheat. Okay, you food pyramid people. If you're still buying that the government cares, it doesn't. It pays the wheat farmers to grow the wheat that has all the yucky GMO stuff in it that gets refined, that when you have bread, it turns to sugar right into your body. So the carbohydrates that are refined aren't good for you. And we know that, even if they're whole grains. Now people worry, if I don't have these whole grains, I'm going to be constipated. All I can tell you is that if you've been wheat-free, like I have, and if you've added coconut oil, like I have, you will not have a problem with constipation. You're still going to get it from veggies. You're still going to get it from maybe other places. But even like brown rice, quinoa, things like that. So anyway, heart-healthy whole wheat. Most whole wheat products aren't really made from whole wheat. You know that, right? Oh, Greg is doing something with a buzzer. The grains have been pulverized into very fine flour, making them raise blood sugar just as fast as their refined counterparts, meaning the white. In fact, whole wheat bread can have similar glycemic index spikes as well. So, even true whole wheat may be a bad idea because modern wheat is unhealthy compared to the wheat that our grandparents had. And you probably know that too, that our grandparents were lean and mean in the 1940s and 50s because the fat, the wheat had not been adulterated yet. And now it is, and that's it, case closed. Now, if you were over in England or Europe, you might find that having wheat is not going to be as harmful to you as it could be here. They don't allow it over there. There's no GMOs allowed over there. Case closed. But we still are allowing it here. Why is that, you say? Well, just think of the lobbyist that's 50, 60 pounds overweight because he's never pushed himself away from a free dinner with his expense account, pushing the wheat subsidies, pushing the big food companies to keep doing what they're doing, and we'll keep paying you and having all the people that vote on things keep doing what they're doing. It has nothing to do with your health, your belly, your menopause, your glycemic index, nothing to do with it. Okay, so modern wheat may cause inflammation, increased cholesterol levels compared to the old varieties. Whereas wheat may have been a relatively healthy grain back in the day. It's not. Okay. This is going to be my fifth and last one. Margarine. We don't have to go there, do we? I saw somebody buying Earth Balance at Whole Foods, and could it really be healthier than pasture-raised, grass-fed cow butter? Could it be? I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know. What is Earth Balance? So, butter was demonized back in the day, and I remember that. I remember the person would take a bite of whatever it was with some imperial margarine on it, and they'd get a great big old imperial crown. And it would be, I remember that, and then there were a couple of others, and Parquet butter, Parquet. And, there was never butter in my house. And it was so funny that, like, margarine was the go-to item of its day. Margarine is not food, nor is Cool Whip. It is an assembly of chemicals and refined oils that have been made to look and taste like food. Not surprisingly, the Framingham Heart Study done here in Massachusetts way back when, 50, 60 years ago, that they're still following today, because I have a friend that's still on it. She's in her 70s. It shows that people who replace butter with margarine are actually more likely to die from heart disease. Hello. So if you want to improve your health, eat real butter, preferably grass-fed, but avoid processed margarine and other fake foods like the plague. Oh, this person's singing to us. Let me call this person. Recommending trans fat-laden margarine instead of natural butter may be just the worst nutrition advice in history. All right. So that's the first bunch. And it goes, I think, all the way up to 15, so I'll stop there. So, it's just more of the same that most of us understand and believe that tune in to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. We are making healthier choices. And I just love having extra time to go into the stores to do my search and recover of new items. And it's just, if some of you are doing this, you know this. I've been buying like the organic frozen peas and turnips and squash and green beans, maybe something else. And so I've been buying those things, and then the organic fresh carrots. And those are the things that I'm attracted to today. And so I will have a half a cup of peas and a half a cup of beans, or a half a cup of turnips, or half a cup of butternut squash with my 3 to 4 ounce portion of protein. And I'm totally satisfied. And it feels really good. And so when I buy these organic, and I was the last one to promote Whole Foods, and now I'm the first one to promote. I can go in there and get their organic brand, or an organic brand, in the frozen section, and I will save more money than the other regular grocery store chains. And I'm amazed. So you have to kind of go in there, because when it's not like there's a flyer that comes, we get, the flyer with the other ones in the mail. So I have to go there, and I have to go up and down every aisle, because they have really decent sales in there. And I'm psyched. So even though my food budget at first seemed initially much higher, because of the density and the intensity and the satisfying part of these rich foods with grass-fed butter on them, I'm staying within my 26 points, because somebody was asking me about that. I am. And I'm enjoying my food, and I'm not having cravings. I mean, I had a dessert planned the other day. I didn't have it. It's amazing. It is amazing. And yes, it was a Hail Mary coconut tart from Whole Foods, but I didn't have it because my grass-fed beef and my organic potato and the grass-fed butter and the organic sour cream, the asparagus done roasted on the grill, and the Brussels sprouts roasted on the grill were all totally satisfying. And I'm loving this. So I do stay within my 26 points for those of you that are afraid to take the leap into the high-fat world that so many of us have been successful with. So I've asked you a couple of times, but I'm asking again. Did you do the weigh-in to weigh-in coconut oil challenge? How much did you have? Did you increase as you went along? Are you continuing to do it? Did not only the scale move, but your bowels like it? Your body likes it? Your hair may like it? From the inside out, how is coconut oil for you? And you know that every time you have some, it's preventing and protecting you against some of the most horrible diseases like Alzheimer's, heart disease, and other diseases, dementia. It is layering in. Your brain loves coconut oil. Your brain loves saturated fat, healthy fats, which means coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin coconut oil that's unrefined. It loves those things. It does not like omega-6 vegetable oils like canola, corn, safflower, and the like. Those things are no-nos. You want to stick. Does it seem boring to only have a couple of oils to choose from? Not really. Not really. And there are coconut oils out there that don't have the coconut taste. So if there's something about that that creates an aversion in you, or you don't want it in every single tasting thing that you have. Like when I do the Brussels sprouts, I don't use the coconut flavor, the Nature's Way that has coconut flavor. I use the Nutiva one that doesn't have the coconut flavoring. So I'm doing all these things. I bring them to you. I share them. I love what you guys share with me too. This is a journey for all of us, and I respect all of your journeys and what you're doing, because what you do for yourself and share here helps those of us along the path. Sometimes you give us ideas we never even thought of, and sometimes you give us, a pat on the back that what some of us talk about here works for you. So go enjoy your day. It's gorgeous here. It's still September. And I will see you the next time around. Until then, this has been Sarah, Weight Watcher Cape Cod Woman on YouTube and Pearls of Wisdom and Food on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.